Hey everybody, we've got more political access today, and there's some breaking news out of Michigan. And Democratic U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow has announced she will not run for re-election to a fifth term in 2024. This is a big deal. It creates a pickup opportunity for Republicans, and it means Democrats are going to have to scramble. They're going to have to find a candidate. They're going to have to sink resources into this race, much more than they anticipated. And this is a moderate shakeup for the next Senate elections. Now, Stabenow was first elected in 2000, and she's been reelected with a decent portion of the vote ever since. Her closest election was in 2018, and that was a blue wave year, and that was against John James. But she still won by over 7 points. Now, I'm not overly shocked by this. She is in her 70s now, and it's probably a good time to retire if you want to have some years left toward the end of your life. But it seemed like she had already previously indicated she was going to run for re-election, so this is a change of course. So I think this race will go from likely Democratic down to leans at best. But the main thing is it's definitely going to be highly competitive as of now. Maybe a nominee emerges on the Democratic side or the Republican side, and there's a lot of momentum, and one side pulls away with it. It's unlikely, as Michigan has become much more of a purple state. We saw their other senator, Gary Peters. He had a close win when he last ran for re-election a couple of years ago. So let's move over to the Wikipedia page and see who the potential candidates are. Well, we've got some that have publicly expressed interest: Debbie Dingell, Alyssa Slotkin, and Haley Stevens. To me, none of those are a surprise whatsoever, especially Slotkin and Stevens. I think that is exactly the kind of candidate that Democrats think are a winner. Female candidates that have won re-election from districts that are more suburban and not really all that blue. There's no question they're going to think this is a winning formula. And there's a whole list of potential candidates that could jump in. Some of them I think are not really going to have much of a chance. Rashida Tlaib is on here. I don't think she would stand much of a chance in the Democratic primary. But to me, that is part of the problem, where both sides, they really only want to have this moderate centrist, and it ends up being more of the same. And that's kind of where we end up having what we're seeing in the House for the Speaker nomination. So if you are a progressive, they're not going to let you near this nomination. Now, on the list of declined candidates, I don't know why Pete Buttigieg is on here, unless he moved north to Michigan from Indiana. But on the Republican side, we've got a slew of potential candidates as well. And this primary has all the makings of a complete train wreck. I think it can't be healthy to have a spirited primary where you go back and forth and find the appropriate candidate. But that might have its drawbacks. If Republicans come out of this very bruised, like they have in some other primaries, they could start out with a disadvantage in the general election. But some of these candidates on here, we've got Tudor Dixon. She just lost pretty badly for governor, so I would think she would need to recoup her brand before she jumps into another statewide race. We've also got Peter Meyer on here, who lost in the Republican primary for the U.S. House in the recent midterm. He's a candidate I can really see the establishment getting behind. He voted to impeach Donald Trump. He's viewed as more moderate, and depending on how you look at it, he's either the solution or he is more of the problem. He has a powerful family and wealthy background. To me, we want to get away from that kind of thing in politics, because it'll just be more of the corporate-friendly stuff that a lot of us are really sick of. And we've also got John James. He already ran twice. He failed twice. He just won election for the U.S. House. I don't think he should jump back into it again. And then there's other people on here: Bill Schuette, Fred Upton. There can also be another candidate on either side that's not listed as a potential yet. But either way, this is going to be a big deal. It's a long way off. There's a lot of things that will change. Someone might seem like a front runner right now, but you never know when they're going to dig up something from your past, something you posted on social media 10 years ago, maybe something you said 20 years ago, and that could derail your campaign. That's not that far out of the question. But either way, if an establishment candidate wins, they're going to have a better chance in the general election, but I think most of the bases are tired of these consensus moderate type of candidates. So we'll see what happens with this. So this is notable, but not really a stunner for me. I do expect there always to be a couple of retirements that come up, even if they already filed paperwork, even if they already expressed interest to run for re-election. Some of them are going to decide they have to retire for one reason or another. So Debbie Stabenow, she'll be done in Michigan. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this news, and who do you think should be the nominee on either side of the aisle? And how likely is this seat to flip toward the Republicans now that it will be an open seat? Let me know down below. And on your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.